Well, we have seen it in the spotlight this week. Extreme adventures are sending travelers to the ends of the earth, to the bottom of the sea, and even to space. And that's despite dangerous risks and costs that soar beyond what the average vacationer can spend. And this business is booming. Luxury travel advisors say the industry has become more accessible than ever. Companies like Blue Origin offer commercial flights to space. There are even tour operators that offer private jet service to Antarctica. So let's speak with an expert. Lawyer and adventure travel industry advisor Chun Wright joins us now. Chun, thank you so much for being here. I'm really curious about the legality of trips like these. Participants sign an extraordinary amount of waivers, as you know, saying they understand how dangerous this can be. But is that enough? How ironclad are these waivers?
Thank you for having me on today. And first, I met Stockton Rush earlier this year, and my heart goes out to him, the others that are on the expedition, and their friends and families. In the United States, where I'm located, waivers are not only legal in nearly all states, they are a powerful contract that can help protect businesses from legal claims while educating travelers about the risk posed by a trip. And they are usually upheld by courts so long as they are drafted well, meaning they are clear and conspicuous and voluntarily accepted by the traveler. I will note that gross negligence and intentional actions can never be waived.
All right, very interesting. And you're an avid adventure traveler yourself, we know. Does this incident with the Ocean Gate sub, does it make you a little bit wary?
For me personally, no, because I don't do what I would call extreme or fringe adventure travel of this nature. I scuba dive, I hike, I do things that I think most people would find like a good level of risk for normal people. Most adventure travel involves hiking, cycling, scuba diving, kayaking, and similar activities. I do think that thrill seekers who want to sort of push the envelope will still be interested. They may ask more questions about equipment. They may ask more questions about safety. And depending on the outcome of this particular incident, they may ask themselves if they really want to take this particular risk.
Well, that's really interesting. And I think there is an argument that when this is pulling these types of resources, and we're talking about the sub internationally for these types of rescue missions, is it maybe something we should be reconsidering?
With respect to rescue missions, I do think that to the extent people want to take trips like this, that one has to think about whether or not rescue missions are worth it. But this is a very general question. But I do think it is something to think about and talk about the cost and expense of sort of, bailing people out of risky endeavors. But I think there are a lot of factors that go into these expeditions themselves, including research.
And there certainly are. We have about 30 seconds left, June, but the Ocean Gate experience costs hundreds of thousands of dollars, as you know. Should a price tag like that be able to better guarantee a person's safety? What is the money going toward, if not that?
Well, I think the money goes towards having the experience. You cannot buy your way into safety for risky adventures. You can go with a reputable company that has a good safety record, but these are inherently dangerous activities. And I think every single person is aware when they sign a waiver what those risks are because they are spelled out for them.
All right, Chun Wright, thank you for weighing in. We appreciate it.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.